I start talking about this very interesting video, I want to go ahead and give everyone a very big virtual hug, especially those who have been affected by either hurricane, okay? So take my hug. And I hope that you guys, those who were affected, are doing better, feeling better. And I hope that not a lot of you had any sort of damages to your home. And if so, I hope that everything gets better. I know how stressful these times can be, okay? So the 10 benefits of therapy. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But before I begin, I want to say that therapy, for a lot of people like me, who used to think that, therapy is for unstable people, therapy is for crazy people, therapy is for people that have had a hell of a lot of trauma. Let me clear that up for you, okay? Therapy is not only for heavily traumatic events. Okay, I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I mean. Therapy is for everybody, okay? You don't have to have a whole bunch of trauma, and, illnesses in order to see a therapist, okay? A therapist is going to help anybody become a better version of themselves, okay? So anyone can go see a therapist, and anyone can benefit from a therapist. So I wanted to put that out there, okay? Being that I grew up in a Dominican home, where the only time that I heard about, somebody needing to see a therapist was if there was a fight or an argument going on and somebody wanted to throw shade. That was one of the things that they said, you need to go to therapy, honey. You need therapy. So it was never a normal thing that I saw growing up in my household. I don't think I knew anyone as a young girl who actually went to therapy, okay? There's a lot of stories that I can sit down and, talk about, but I'm gonna reserve that for a future video. So, okay, I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood therapy is for everybody. So, what are the 10 benefits of therapy that I have experienced, okay? Because I like to talk about things that I've experienced. If you don't get anything else out of therapy, if you don't get anything else from therapy, the one thing that you will get is a listening ear. Someone who's going to listen to you, someone that you can open up to, and hopefully they won't judge you. If they're a good therapist, they're not going to judge you, okay? But, sometimes you're not gonna find the therapist that you're looking for. So if you have a good therapist, they're going to give you a safe environment in which you can let it out, in which you can express the things that are bothering you. And guess what? They're not going to add seasoning on it and go repeat it to a third person. They're not going to listen to your problems and post them on Instagram. They may talk to their spouse, but you don't know their spouse and they don't know you personally, so it doesn't even matter. But you guys understand what I'm saying. When you talk to your therapist, you don't have to worry about your parents finding out, your friends, the people at your job, unless you're trying to kill somebody, or unless you're trying to hurt yourself, because they are mandated to report that, okay? So, there are things that by law they have to share. But you guys get what I'm saying. We all need to have people that we trust, that are not going to judge us, that are not going to be judgmental, to listen to us. I know, a lot of narcissistic abuse survivors who tend to keep to themselves, keep everything bottled in, and that makes the healing process much harder, okay? And I can definitely say that for certain, because I believe that with this therapist that I'm seeing now this past year, I've made so much progress in comparison to the previous years where I was seeing different therapists that I did not connect with. Okay, so it's very important that you do find a therapist that you click with, that gets you, and that, you know, has the requirements, which I will talk about in my next video, okay? I will talk about the green flags and things that you should look for in a therapist in the next video, okay? So that's the first thing, a listening ear, okay? If nothing else, they will offer a listening ear. Another benefit is that they help you unpack your trauma and your baggage. Sometimes if you get to the right therapist, they will help you unpack all of these baggage, okay? And since I'm a visual person, I want to show you what it looks like. I want to show you what it looks like. Childhood trauma. Some of us have a bigger bag. Some of us have a little bag, bit bigger or smaller, whatever. You guys get my drift. Cheating boyfriends and girlfriends. Narcissistic abuse. Domestic violence. Divorce. Betrayal from family members. Problems with your children. I didn't have enough bags. Oh no, I have another bag here. Did I say divorce? If I didn't say divorce, divorce. Addictions, unemployment, the list goes on and on, okay? I just wanted to have a visual because this is the stress and the trauma and the baggage that we carry through our lives. And when we don't have therapy, when we don't take care of our mind, we continue to add on many bags. I didn't have the time to get more bags, okay? But you guys get what I'm saying. These are the things that we carry with us when we don't take care of our minds. Look how heavy this one is. That's my daughter's backpack. Okay, so a therapist, and I had to do a visual. God, I'm so tired. I had to do a visual because I'm a visual person, but these are the types of baggage that we carry, you know, with us, along with us. And if we just throw on more things and more bags and more bags and more bags, we're going to explode one day. We're going to explode. We're going to have a mental breakdown because if you're not taking care of that muscle, if you're not taking care of your emotional muscle, okay, what do you think is going to happen? You will always benefit from a therapist because we all have issues, disorders, addictions, you name it. There's so many things, okay? And a therapist will help you unpack all of that trauma. What happened in your childhood that makes you act this way? Where is your anger coming from? Why are you not trusting people? Trauma. They will help you unpack, process these things that sometimes can be so difficult for us to do on our own because we're not professionals, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3, a good therapist will help you discover your strength and your vices, okay? And why is that so important? Because we need to know, and sometimes we don't see that for ourselves. Sometimes that's difficult to see. What are our strengths? Some of us can, okay? But sometimes when you've been abused for so long, it's hard to see the good things that we have, our qualities, and vice versa. What are our vices? What are the things that are holding us back? A therapist can help you with that. Number 4, a therapist can teach you coping skills. How do you cope with your anger? How do you cope with death? How do you cope with, losing people you loved? How do you cope with so many things, okay, that we have to learn how to cope with? A therapist can help you with that, okay? Number 5, a good therapist is going to hold you accountable when necessary, okay? A good therapist will do that, okay? When they find you falling off the wagon, or when you're excusing your own bad behaviors, a good therapist is going to find a nice way to check you on that. And it's not really about checking you, it's to make you more aware. Sometimes some of us may lack awareness, okay? And that's a very good reason why a therapist, that's a very good way that a therapist can help you, okay? Making you a little bit aware of your own bad behavior and patterns, okay? Number 6, they offer an objective point of view. It's good to have another point of reference, okay? Another person that has just a different viewpoint than yours, okay? Someone, out that's looking in. You may be exaggerating certain things, or you may be taking things too lightly. You may be, it's always good to have another person who's not in the mix give you their professional opinion, okay? So that's number 6, an objective point of view. Number 7, they help you discover your fears and face your fears. They can also help you realize if your fears are based on trauma or reality, okay? So that's another great thing that a therapist can do. Number 8, a therapist can show you the ways that you sabotage yourself and your growth. What are the things that you are doing that keep you stuck? What are the ways that you are holding yourself back, okay? By normalizing the narcs in your life, by normalizing, really bad behavior, a good therapist will check you, okay? I don't want to say check you. They'll help you see these things, okay? Because it's not about getting checked. So let me not use that phrase. Number 9, they will help you find ways for you to break your destructive pattern. So what am I going to do to break this pattern? Number 10, they will help you come up with a plan to achieve your personal goals. Of course, all of these things are not going to happen in one visit. You're actually going to have to put in work and dedicate time. But again, it's important for you to find the right therapist. It has taken me many, many years. I'm 43 now, and I believe I've finally found the right therapist. Okay, it took me many years, going from one therapist that, just didn't get me. We didn't click. We didn't find, I didn't find that connection. You're gonna have therapists that are just not going to know about narcissistic abuse. They're not going to sometimes believe what has happened in your life. Some will judge you, unfortunately. Some will roll their eyes. That has happened to me. Some are always going to be looking at the clock, and I understand that most therapists have to look at the clock because they have a patient right after you. I get that. But if, for me, I know that, it's very uncomfortable when I catch the therapist looking at the clock most of the visit, like wait at least 20 minutes before you look at the clock. I don't know, like some people, and I understand that a lot of people have a lot of workload too. But I don't want to feel like you're rushing my visit. That's one of the things that I don't like. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about next video, the next time that I make a video. Because I do want to arm you, whoever. I know that a lot of people that follow me on this channel are narcissistic abuse survivors, but you don't have to be a narcissistic abuse survivor to, like I said, find you a therapist. We can all benefit from therapist. Like I said, for a very long time, not only did I not find the right therapist, which made it harder for me to find a benefit from it, because I'm like, what am I doing? Like I honestly felt like it was a waste of time because I didn't connect with, the therapist that I visited. The one thing that made me like look at things differently was my son's therapist. My son's therapist asked me, one of the visits that I went with my son, he was like, Anna, how are you doing? Are you, going to see a therapist? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go see a therapist, but I really was putting it off because that was not something that I really wanted to do. And he kept asking me, okay? I think the third time that he asked me, he was like, your kid is watching you. So you can't push therapy on him and expect him to do well in his therapy when he sees that you don't even want to make an appointment for yourself, okay? So that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I said, oh, wow, he has a point. He has a point. I was seeing how therapy was helping my son, and I wanted him to keep going. So I said, you know what? I'm so glad that his therapist held me accountable in that moment, because what am I doing when I know I have a ton of issues and a ton of baggage that, for many years I did not want to process, I did not want to face. I just wanted to keep on with all the bags, all of the trauma and all of the baggage. I wanted to keep on trucking, and, that damaged me in so many ways, because there was a lot of things that happened in my childhood during the years of my lifetime that I just wanted to put it on my back and move on. Put it on my back and move on. Let's go. And you can't do that. You can only do that for so long. So right now I'm very pleased with my therapist. I feel like, I don't want to say like a brand new person. I'm still facing the same issues that I faced years ago, but I feel like now I'm more equipped to deal with the issues. I feel like now I'm looking forward to giving my children the type of mother that I always wanted to be. Okay, I want to break toxic patterns. I want to give my children a better chance. I think that I've done well so far, but I want to keep going. I want them to look back and see that, my mom did a lot of things for us that her parents didn't do. And not to put my parents down, they didn't know any better. The generation that they came from, they not believe in therapy. They thought it was for, crazy people. So I don't blame them at all. They did the best that, they thought that was reasonable at that time. But I just want to do my best so that my babies are happy children and happy adults. And I want to prepare them, and I want to normalize therapy, okay? And you normalize it for your children when you go sit on that couch, okay? Well, now you don't even have to sit on the couch if you don't want to, because I do mine online. At the beginning, I remember telling my therapist, Michelle, I'd rather come in person. But she shut me down. And I'm glad that she did, because I'm so comfortable doing it from my bed, from my chair, in my PJs, my sweats. And I don't have to drive to Savannah or Pool or whatever. So yes, go to therapy. Go to therapy. You're going to be happier. I'm much happier. I'm more stable. Of course, I'm taking my medication as well. So for all of you who also need meds, okay, take your meds, go to therapy. You're not crazy. And even if you are a little cuckoo like me, you can still be the best crazy version, okay? And I only say that I'm crazy because I poke fun at myself, okay? Because sometimes I know, I need to take my meds, I don't want to act cuckoo, but I know it's not that. So please don't come in the comments and try to tell me I'm making fun of people. You know, I'm bipolar. I poke fun at myself, and you know, it's not a big deal. So don't make it a big deal, okay? I hope that this video was helpful. And I'm going to make the video about the red flags and the green flags of a therapist. I know I covered a few today, but I'm going to tell you what to look for in a therapist so that you can find somebody that you click with, okay? Okay, my loves, that was my video for today. Let me know what you think. If you like it, hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.